It's September 15th, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky, and it's time to get in the weeds. A marvelous Monday, an extra special Monday because it is the birthday you've all been waiting for. That's right. The busiest day, the best day, the happiest of birthdays to my sister-in-law. Happy birthday, sister-in-law.
Happy birthday to your sister-in-law.
Thank you. I was very surprised to find out that you both had the same birthday despite me knowing her for several years now. Anyway, happy birthday to my sister. It's also Jeremy's birthday. Happy birthday. How you doing, pal?
My mom is calling. I think she knows when the show is starting.
That's
so
a shame.
like, yeah.
She's trying to get herself over now.
Yeah, she's trying to, yeah. Hello, mother.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You know I'm doing a show.
Oh, I just went online and I didn't see it on, but then I saw it was live, so I thought, well, I could still call in and just wish you a happy birthday because you are my favorite son.
Oh, that's good. The other one that you locked in the closet. Yeah, you don't care about him too much.
No, he's gone now. Too.
Yeah, true.
Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was fun. You know, watched.
Did you watch the games?
Yeah, I unfortunately watched some of the Panthers game, but we watched Dallas and New York. That was a really good game.
Oh my gosh, could you believe that?
Yeah, that was a great game.
So I was talking to some friends of mine, and I said something about the guy should get a bonus, like 2 bonuses for kicking. And they don't think that he's going to get anything.
Well, they get paid to do that. What do they get a bonus for?
Okay, see, that's what they said. That's what this job is. But I mean, he saved their ass. I mean, they saved, you know.
Yeah.
He saved them.
Yeah,
he
but
won the game.
He did, but like it was also that's his job. He gets paid to make that kick. He didn't get a bonus to do that.
Well, I would ask for a bonus.
No,
I would ask for a raise.
Fair.
Right?
Yeah.
Who are you talking to today?
What?
Who are you on the show with today?
Joel.
Oh, hey, Joel. I didn't see it on the show, so.
Joel's not replying to you. He's being a little jerk right now.
My mic was muted.
His mic was muted. He didn't realize his mic was muted.
Oh, yeah, he better not be. SP3 gives me little heart sayings and tells me he loves me and everything.
Yeah.
So you gotta step it up a little bit. Baby.
Get his ass, Mom.
You know? I mean, you don't want SP3 showing you up. I just woke up. Can you believe that?
Oh, good for you.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously.
Guess what I did this weekend.
God, what?
I went crabbing.
Crabbing?
I went crabbing.
Did you catch any crabs?
Do you
have crabs, Mom?
No, I don't crabs.
Okay.
They make shampoo just in case.
But I went with my friend, and then his brother and his son went out there. And their wife was supposed to go, but she didn't show up. But that's okay. That's fine. Because I showed their butts up.
Yeah.
They're crab all the time and everything. They stayed out there till midnight crabbing. We stayed out there like 6 hours. I caught 3, and my friend caught 1.
This sounds like a giant waste of time.
Oh. All right. Well, I won't talk about it no more. Anyway, they stayed out there till 12:30 in the morning.
To catch 1 crab?
No.
Oh.
We didn't stay out there. The other 2 guys stayed out there till 12:30 in the morning, and they caught a total of 8 crabs. I caught more than they did in the time we stayed out there.
I think 8 is more than 3, so I don't think your math works well there.
Because the crab to time ratio.
Double the time.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I look at my math.
Okay, fair.
So I think
your Steiner ass math over here.
And I caught the biggest and the meanest one too.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Did it pinch you?
No, but it did pinch my friend. The dumbass, he puts him in the boat, and then they come up there and bit him, so I'm glad it bit him.
Oh,
his toe.
Okay.
But I had a good time. I haven't been crabbing since I was 10.
Yeah?
I mean, I'm only 50-something.
True.
Now, so.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to call in. Did you do anything fun yesterday?
Watched football.
Oh, okay. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
I watched that game in Kansas City. I was kind of a little bit upset Kansas City lost.
Yeah, they're not good this year.
They're not. Why is
Yeah.
that?
Well,
You think it's because she's not there?
Yeah, Taylor hadn't been showing up to the games, so
No.
they're just.
He doesn't need to impress.
Yeah, exactly. Now they're engaged. He's got nothing to play for anymore.
Well, he's got her money.
Damn, resting on his laurels out here.
Huh?
He's resting on his laurels.
Yes.
Yes.
And he really messed up yesterday. He
Yep.
lost the game on him.
Yeah, he dropped the ball right into the defender's hands.
Times when he wears
I saw
suit with
that. See,
shorts.
I'm learning.
Yeah,
I'm not having to call you and ask you.
yeah, you've only been watching football for 40 years now. You're finally getting it.
I know.
Yeah.
And nobody's here watching it with me, so I
Yeah.
don't have anybody to ask questions to.
Yeah.
So I think I'm doing pretty good.
Good job.
Yep. All right, I'm not going to keep you. I don't have a lot to talk about. I just woke up, so
Okay.
I will have to call in sometime when I'm more, awake.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, you have a happy birthday.
Thank you.
Hi, Joel. I still love you.
Love you too, Ma.
Okay. Joel said hi. Joel said I love you too. You can't hear him, but I will relay the message to you.
Oh, I will watch it back.
Oh, I know you will. You like showing all the alleged friends you have your appearances on this show.
While crabbing.
Huh? Do I have friends on the show? They can't see me, right?
Right. They can only hear you.
Oh, gosh. They're so loyal.
Yeah.
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 All right, baby.
All right.
You have a nice birthday.
Thank you.
Okay?
All right.
I love you.
Love you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Bye. That's my mother, everybody.
Just want to point out she made the decision to call you after waking up, not the other way around.
What a worker my mom is, by the way, of like, oh, I didn't know if you were doing the show today because I hadn't seen it start. And then a minute after it starts, she decides to call in. And like, she knows. Come on now. My mom wanted to get herself over on this show. Absolute worker.
Thinking I ain't replying. I was legitimately muted when I replied the first time.
You were. I noticed that. I know.
I was looking at my other screen and I just glanced down. I'm like, whoop, that's a red light. Oh, well.
My mom's already over, but she still has to work, She's still gotta call in when the show starts, knowing that the show is on, just to get herself on the air. Yeah, she goes and she shows all her alleged friends, like, look at me, I'm on my son's show and everything, and all her friends gotta pretend like they care about this shit. Bless them. She enjoys coming on the show and then showing her expertise to her friends and everything. Bless my mom, just woke up too.
Which is amazing.
That either.
Yeah,
I don't buy that either.
She's actually been up all night.
Yeah.
She went on a 7-day bender.
So I'm of two minds here. I either do believe her because she usually texts me very early on my birthday, like happy birthday and everything. And this was the first time I'd heard from her today. I'm also of the belief that she was completely working and was like, I'm going to wait until 10 just so I could call into his show and be like, oh, I just woke up. That's why I haven't messaged you earlier. I just got up. I didn't know you were doing the show. It hadn't started yet. 1 minute after it starts, she calls. Working over here.
Also, how does she know when we're on the air? Does she follow us on Twitter, and does she use Twitter?
Yeah, she follows me on Twitter. Yeah.
Okay.
She doesn't tweet anything. She doesn't tweet. She does follow me to keep up on my tweets, though, because she doesn't as much now, or at least she's gotten much better about, like, not responding to all of my, I tweet a lot of bullshit. So she would always message me, like, is this true? Like, why are you mad at Sean? Why are you yelling at Sean on Twitter? And so I'm like, Mom, we're screwing around. Like, you can't like read into what I'm actually tweeting out here. So she's either gotten really good at ignoring it or she doesn't follow it as much, but she follows me. She knows when like the show is on and everything. So yeah, she is on Twitter. She doesn't tweet anything though.
She just keeps track. She's keeping tabs on her baby boy.
Yeah, I don't even know like what her username is or anything. I doubt she used like a real name or anything. Like, don't be stupid about it, but
I just got a text message from someone being like, literally just read your show title as Andrade deported WWE.
Jesus.
And I was like, that's a choice of a headline.
We'd get kicked off the air with that one.
I don't think we get kicked off the air. I think we'd probably get more viewers if you're talking about
Well,
certain things.
yeah.
Oh God, yeah, your mom, the consummate worker, she'll be ready to go in 2027 to In the Weeds Saudi Invitational. No thanks.
I should have asked her thoughts on the Saudi deal. Did you see my friend texted? She's been to one wrestling show in her life, but she's over here catching up on the wrestling news via TikTok. And she's like, who is this bald person and why are people mad at him? They're chanting, you sold out, and they're booing, but they're not saying like why they're mad. She's like, he's old and bald. Why are people mad at him? And bless my wife, she gave the whole lore of everything, of like Triple H Saudi deal going back to 2018, the plane incident, everything. It was like she wrote a whole damn book on the WWE Saudi deal to try to explain this to our friend who does not watch the product at all, but knows that people are mad over this deal.
I'm so curious as to who the person was that she was watching on TikTok. Because I have no idea. Because I know Kate did a TikTok about the Saudi stuff. So I was like, part of me was like, was your friend? You should have been like, was it a woman talking about the Saudi thing? Because it might have been ours. Might have been from our team.
No idea.
Yeah. So the announcement came. No one was in the room. If you if you didn't already notice, unless you were on stage, they were the only people behind the camera were the operators. And WrestleMania is officially going to Saudi Arabia 2027. And of course, as you have already seen, some of you have already seen it. Some wrestlers are very excited for this. Some wrestlers are just ready to get down to whatever weight they need to be and whatever peak condition they need to be. Oh, I may have retired, but never say never, brother. Never say never when the Brinks truck is there. And I'd love to go. It'll be amazing. I'm so excited. I'm gonna violate human rights just for this experience of $5 million. Let's go, baby. You're gonna see a lot of that, and I know I'm not the only person who has said those words, but my God, it's already started. No, definitely not headed to Saudi. I've said it. They allow 2 Jews in the country per year, and I'm not one of them. Yep. And listen, I'm not gonna comment as to the demeanor of the wrestlers on stage and how they looked and what they wanted to be, where they wanted to be. There might be some who are all in it. There might be some who are all in on it. So I can't speak to their level of interest or their level of, I don't know, excitement going into something like this. They've been going, and they have to reckon with their own feelings when it comes to the money paid and the expectations shown. So yeah, they're going, and WWE's been all in on the sports washing campaign since 2018. So really, why should it stop now? Brandon Thurston had a fantastic piece of. It was sarcasm. It was a great piece of satire. You should go out of your way to find it over on the Post Wrestling website, and it just says all you need to know. Just 2 years from now, that'll be you're going to hear a lot of people being like, "I'm in shape, brother. Let's go." Biggest match of the year is this guy and this guy. Sure. Have fun.
They did the announcement. Everyone knew what the announcement was. Why you call it a press conference with no press, I don't know. Could have been an email. Just send out a press release.
Well, they tried, remember? Then they had to pull it back because they sent it too early and in a different language.
Yeah.
And like Zarian's mentioning, there aren't too many of those guys left who would be like, I'm going to go, brother. But like, there are a bunch of mid-card WWE guys who think that they are good to go. I think, I'll shout out Sean on this one. If you listen to the backstage report this morning, he mentioned, Team 3D may be throwing their shoes off at the end of Bound for Glory, but they'll put them right back on if they can reunite as the Dudley Boys to go do a Saudi trip for millions of dollars. Like, do not get it twisted.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So we'll see. 100%. We'll see. They're going to be, listen, they're WWE mid-carders that, think and can get their way into a spot. They will work their ass to get there, and they will show the progress along the way to show that they're a team player, and they'll do whatever it takes because the payday is unimaginable for workers, for these people. Who knows? Who knows what they'll do? Tired.
It was very not funny, But that announcement was just such a waste of time.
It was sad. It was sad. It felt there was zero excitement behind it. That's the other thing. And I'm not saying that this was like everyone should be so excited that they're doing this, but like even from the corporate side of things, you think they'd be a little more showing of excitement towards something like this. This is a big moment for them, however they feel.
Allegedly.
Instead, you've got, Sean and Taker being like, yeah, it was Joe and Taker. Either way, it was Taker and whoever else sitting at the dais being like, yeah, you should come to Saudi. Everyone's great there. And you're just like,
it was Joe.
Was it Joe? Yeah, Joe and Taker. Yeah, come there. Come to the country. And it was like, no, please don't. The on location packages. You're $70,000. Oh, it's better spent on this year's WrestleMania, not next year's. Right, 26 versus 27. You know what I'm saying?
Like that was the most almost off-putting. There was a lot of off-putting. I don't want to say the most, but it was very off-putting that like they brought these talents there, and like none of them could just like feign excitement. I was like, why? It just feels like a waste of time for all of them to be there if they can't even like fake a smile on there. You know what I mean? Like, why do you have Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, Vaquer, Bianca, Liv? Like, why do you have these talents there if they can't even like fake a smile off there? Because
only one of them said anything.
Right. Like, but that's what made it look worse is they could have just had Triple H and Tessitore and the Saudi sports
Turkey
person. Yeah,
Turkey.
Yeah. They could have just had them three there and doing this, and then everybody else just not be there. They could have spoke. We still would have had a similar reaction, but it would have been like, all right, like fine. At least you didn't drag. Yeah, I know why the women were there. I know why Bianca had to say what she had to say. I get it. I'm not saying that. We all know, right? Like we know why they were all there. But it made it look worse. That's my point. Is that it made it look worse. It looked like they were back on the plane, just couldn't go anywhere. All right, we're here. I guess we're just here because we got no choice but to be here.
That's right. Just take 2 steps and smile. Stay to the left.
I felt bad for him.
I did too. And again, I don't want to speak for their demeanor. I get that people in the chat are talking about, what it looked like. And yeah, listen, if you're looking, I get it. I get the feeling. I will never fully know how they were feeling, but there were faces in that room that were just there, and it made very little sense. Someone had mentioned, they could have just done a hype video. They could have like that. We talked about
at Worlds Collide.
Like WWE's production crew is top notch, and they'll turn chicken salad or chicken shit into chicken salad. They could do that, but instead they did this, and I guess they wanted to make it look official. They wanted to make it look grandiose, but it wasn't grandiose because no one was in the room. They made it just look like a hostage exchange. But anyway, it happened. It's happening. You mentioned Worlds Collide. They showed the hype video, and the crowd was not a fan. They were booing and selling "You Sold Out," and they had to kind of move the mics around to not get that chant as audible as it was. I was listening with headphones last night, catching up on Worlds Collide, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, they really didn't like it. And Adrian Hernandez was in the building, and he posted the video of when they were showing the hype video live in the arena, and the reaction is just as loud throughout as it was when they came back from the break for the TV broadcast. It's really something to see. Fans are not a fan, rightfully so.
It doesn't change anything.
Nope.
Because
these people are the same people who went to the Crawford and Alvarez fight, and they were still cheering going to the event, knowing, or in many cases not knowing, who the presenting sponsor really was and who was behind this. It's one thing to boo, but you ain't booing with your wallet.
Well, I'll give them a little bit of a pass if you're not booing with it. They already bought tickets to this show before this Saudi announcement was made. I mean, maybe some of them didn't. Maybe some of them bought tickets after the announcement. But I assume the majority of people at Worlds Collide were booing and chanting "You sold out" after this announcement was made.
You were watching the Crawford and Canelo fight. They were
Yes.
booing Turkey Al-Sheikh in the ring when he arrived, as far as I saw.
Oh, okay.
So I can tell you that much. They weren't a big fan. Some people may have been like, wait, what's he doing here? But honestly, I mean, he's been there the whole time. You just maybe didn't realize it. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know how many fans like know that Saudi and Riyadh season and Turkey Al-Sheikh were behind the Crawford Canelo fight. It was pretty tough to miss it, but I don't know how many people are like super paying attention to that. They might have just thought it was Dana. Dana looked thrilled to be there most of the night too. So I don't know how many like fully understand the depth at which they are funding these types of things. You know what I mean? Like us, we know as wrestling fans and as, combat sports followers, like we know. And then when it comes to wrestling, like how much do they know that they're like getting off of this? How much do they know about Saudi? Or are they just booing Saudi because it's not in America and it's like, well, I'm not going to Saudi. You know what I mean?
It's honestly, it's all of those things.
Yeah.
It's literally all of those things. There are going to be fans who want to go to WrestleMania every year, and this is the first one that looks almost unattainable for many. And whether it's because they know about what's going on because of the government's interaction with Saudi, or it's a money hindrance, there are reasons for them to be upset about this. For those who are more in tune with the geopolitical landscape, they know why it's a bad idea and what the sports washing of Saudi Arabia has done to other sports. I talked about this with someone. My kid had a play date with another family in the building, and we were talking about what I do, and we were talking about Saudi and Mania, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I don't like what they did with F1," and I was like, "Perfect example." They know. They just don't. They know that the Saudis are involved with sports. They understand sports washing. They didn't necessarily realize how deep it goes and in how many sports the Saudis have gotten themselves into. WWE was one of the first, and so we may have a little bit of a leg up in terms of understanding what the negatives are to a situation like this. And others are going to come around and figure it out soon enough. But I think again, as so many have had to repeat over and over again, this is not an indictment on the Saudi population and fans in Saudi Arabia getting a WrestleMania. It's an indictment on how it was given to them, and that is by the government paying an exorbitant amount of money to bring the show to them, as they've been doing for the last, well, we're going to be near 7 years, 8 years. So they've been doing it since 2018. They've been paying an exorbitant amount of money to do things in conjunction with the government, and that is where the problem persists. It's not a problem with the people. It's a problem with the people in charge. So I again, frame every single argument we have about this under the guise of it is a governmental issue. It is not a population issue. So while it felt inevitable, the means through which and the ways through which they announced it and did it, it's been comical at best and upsetting on other planes.
Well, hopefully you can get off those planes.
Hopefully the planes will take off this time. Speaking of planes, leave a thumbs up on the video. Take off. Don't leave now. Stick around. The fireworks came early today. And while you're at it, subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty to talk about every single day. 11 a.m., so in about a half hour's time, Vanessa D from Invoke Pro Wrestling is going to join us. We're going to talk about Malice at the Palace, which if you're coming into Toronto for All Out weekend, it's on Friday, this coming Friday, the 19th, at Lee's Palace. It's a 19-plus event, plenty of tickets. I shouldn't say plenty, but it is Lee's Palace, so it is a larger venue. You can get tickets. It's standing room only for the most part. Come and see it. Bands are playing. Pete Angelo is hosting. New MLW champ Cruel is going to be there, and a plethora of other talent. But we're going to welcome Vanessa, who's one of the promoters. She's going to come and talk to us about Malice at the Palace at 11 a.m. Eastern. So about 30 minutes from now. And yeah, we got plenty to talk about. But you had a good weekend just watching football, huh? That's all you did?
Yeah, I watched football. I mean, I watched wrestling on Saturday, You mentioned MLW. I watched that show. Watched Collision. Watched the wrestling on Friday. as well. Watch did the usual type of thing. Who do you? I saw people in our chat talking about this while we were talking about just the announcements in general. But who can they get for that show? Who legitimately is gonna do that show? I mean, it's very easy.
Dudley's, Kane, Mark Henry, Dolph Ziggler. Basically, take the entire roster of Busted Open and then add some people. Sorry, I'm taking a shot because someone already decided to speak highly about the situation on their side of things. So yeah, there are a few. Ric Flair is another one. I think Flair would very happily do that. Yeah, no, there's people.
I mean, I'm sure Flair would.
But
who?
They'll take it. That's the thing. They will take it and they will find something for them to do.
Michael says he's not going to do anything. Now, look, plans can change. Money can change a lot of these things, right?
Michael's also then turned around and said, by the way, I'm getting knee replacement surgery next week.
Yeah.
I know it's for a better quality of life, but it's also one of those oh, well, the timing's very interesting. Maybe my knees will feel better by then.
In fairness to Michaels, that had been planned. Kevin Nash mentioned Sean was undergoing knee replacement surgery 3 months ago.
I know. I'm not saying one begets the other. It's just really the timing is always funny to me because it's they do this and then you find out and it's oh, I wonder why. I get it. It's very much a funny timing thing, but sometimes funny timing in the moment turns into opportunity in the future. And maybe Sean wants to make up for the last time they did a Saudi show.
But he's not going to be in a better condition.
Hypothetically, you're right.
It's the last Saudi show was 2018. It'll be 9 years on top of that. There is no makeup for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no makeup for, he's going to be in better condition and it's going to be a better match. I mean, unless he faces, he's going to face Logan Paul if he faces anybody, honestly. Because they work pretty closely together. Undertaker said he won't be Dead Man Undertaker. You think he'll do American Badass Undertaker and just...
Run it back. Yeah. Bury me softly, brother.
I don't know if they will be, if they'll do matches. I think you can get them to do a spot. You can get Undertaker to come out and do a choke slam to somebody. You can get Shawn to come out and super kick somebody. But I don't know if they can do if they want to do a full on match.
If they'll do old and young in a tag team. It'll be Ric Flair and Miro team up against Undertaker and, I don't know, Braun Breaker. I'm just throwing out names to prove my point of younger and older. So that half the matches worked and the other half the matches just there. That's what they did for Flair for his last match. You did half old. Well, you did 3/4 not so old and then Ric Flair.
I don't think Triple H can take bumps and everything. I don't think Triple H can do any of that. I don't think that's good healthy wise on there.
I don't know. I really don't know. Other people have mentioned Chris Jericho. Absolutely.
Jericho, if he'll
run for that paycheck real quick. It's Fozzy money for him. That's money that he gets to reinvest in Fozzy.
Yeah, Jericho would, if he's there, obviously. And these dudes are just old, man.
Yeah, dude. They are. God forbid we push the younger talent and develop them. Instead, we got to bring back the old heads just to make a few more bucks. And that's the thing. Some of these talent, some might say no, but I have a hard time believing that life-changing money is going to stop some of these people from saying no. Again, we talked about it on Friday with the streamers who might get invited. Those people will have to deal with the repercussions of saying yes or no, whether that is from backlash potentially from their own fan base or whether that is them having to come to terms with the money that they're taking and the reason they're doing it or the reason they're not doing it. They have to live with themselves. And that is really what it comes down to when you accept doing this particular show and working this particular event.
And Cena, don't know if he'll decide like, all right, sure, I'll go back on my retirement to do this match.
He'll do it. And again, Pile Driver saying streamers ain't going. Streamers will go. There's no money in streaming anymore the way that it used to be. Some of them who are very popular, who have very, very well-known followers, or just they're very well sought after, they'll get contacted and they'll be given a 5-star treatment, and some will say yes and some will decide not to. That is what it is, because it's an opportunity for them. Jeremy said it himself. We'll give you, the idea is we'll give you full access, do and say whatever you, well, not say, do whatever you want and go and explore as everything you want. We'll set you up with everything you need. And all you got to do is do the content and say nice things about us. And they will say nice things because they are being paid to do it.
I'm not going to pretend like I know what any of these wrestlers are going to say. I don't know if Cena is going to say yes or no if asked. I don't know if The Rock will say yes or no. I don't know if Steve Austin will say yes or no. I have no idea. I think a lot of these people will be hard-pressed to turn down the money, but John Cena doesn't need money. The Rock doesn't need money. They're fine.
But you don't know that for sure. 2 reasons why. First of all, John Cena is a good soldier to the end. We know that. That's one side of it. But also, Rock Cena will take the money to go and use it as an investment in something else. A lot of them will do that. I really wish more people would take the Mustafa Ali train and go do the show, take the money, and then donate proceeds. That was something that he used to do. Sammy does that as well from time to time. There's just, we're not going to be really into the shit until next year when we're talking about who's getting offers and who's not getting offers.
Yeah, I don't know what these people are thinking. I get it. You get offered that much money for one day, you take it. I completely understand.
Yeah. And when you come back, we'll finish the thought.
Okay.
You're back.
I get it. You get that offered that much money for one day. You think they take it. I understand where that sentiment comes from. Maybe I'm just optimistic and want to see the good in people and want to see John Cena be like, no, I promised I was not going to come back after I'd finished in December 2025, so I'm not going to come back for this. I would like to see Austin, like, what's that, from 38 to 43, like, no, 5-6 years ago. I'm good with that being my last match. I don't want to do just another match for this money. Now The Rock will come in just to fuck things up. That's what we gotta love about The Rock out here. Rock doesn't care.
He'll be like, don't pay me, just give me creative control.
Yeah.
give me the power to say yes and no.
Yeah,
That's pay The Rock.
Rock doesn't care about the money at all. He's like, no, I can go make a Jumanji 4 and be fine on money. What I want to do is all these creative plans. I want to rip that shit up. And then here's what we're booking, brother. Cody, you're doing this damn heel turn. All right. I've got the power now. We're booking this heel turn.
Tell them I get to fuck with Paul and I will do it for free all goddamn day. He's just in a back alley talking to Sheik and just being like, just say the word. I will screw up Paul's whole vision. Just for one show, I'll do it. I swear to God.
Undertaker, he's saying he's not going to do he won't be the dead man. So will he be the badass? Shawn Michaels says he's done. I'd like to believe some of these wrestlers. Obviously, that's a fool's errand.
I choose not to.
No, I know. I get it. I 100% get it. But also, man, these dudes are just old, man. Like, they're old, so
old, carny, and ready to go, baby. Always ready. They got the gear in the bag and everything. And Zarian, who clearly doesn't watch our show, asking about international travel, what that's going to look like. We talked about it on Friday, and we saw it on Friday with the conversation we just referenced. They're going to try and get people to go to the show, and some people are going to try and procure whatever travel arrangements are needed. I'm positive that On Location's going to try and put together some sort of package that includes a visa and a 5-star stay. And they're going to try to offer some sort of travel logistics so that people who can pay will pay and will go. And whether or not it ends well, it depends on how strict the Saudis are, or whatever. I'm using On Location because they're the main partner. How strict On Location is with containing the group that comes in for the show. People who are going to go and do this on their own, that's up to them. They're going to have to deal with that. And, again, people have to realize that the Saudi population are not going to, they're not like these murderous humans who are going to, shank you when you get off the plane. No, it's not. These are human beings. You respect them, they respect you. It's kind of the international code. And as long as you know where you should and shouldn't go, maybe just like any other city in the world, then there's a possibility you're okay. If you are going, if you are serious about going, if you have the money to be going, and the On Location package that they inevitably offer is affordable, I would recommend this because it is much more contained. There will be safety at first glance. It will be the most important part of your trip is the safety of you and your money that you've spent, but also it will be they'll make it as sports washed as they can because they're so happy you came and invested in them and blah blah blah. Here's the third side of things. You think that when people who are coming realize that this is a dry country, you think they're going to go running to Saudi Arabia to go watch WrestleMania? Some people just want to get bomb-ass drunk and go to a wrestling event. You can't do that so easily in Riyadh.
I don't think you're going to get too much of the travel anyway. I don't know. I don't know who's going to plan to travel, who's going to feel, comfortable traveling when it comes to this. I'm with you. Like, if the On Location packages are worth it, like, yeah, take that offer up because you'll probably get strong safety there, well protection there, because they definitely don't want, they don't want incidents, period, but, they're, when it comes to those travel packages, you'll be well taken care of when it comes to that stuff. So we'll see. We still got over a year and a half before. We got basically a year when things start to really come together, right? Because by October, November of next year, you'll start hearing more and more who might be on the show, who might have been contacted for the show. And then obviously by the time 2027 actually rolls around, we'll know kind of what the direction is and who they might pull out for this show. So
I want to remind people, if you're here, there's a good chance that you know what the conversation is around human rights atrocities and the Saudi government and the way they operate. There are a large swath of wrestling fans who have squillions of dollars and will spend them on whatever wrestling event they can just to be at the wrestling show. Those people either don't care or they will be going because they just want to go. There are people, like King Potato saying, people can barely afford groceries, but there are lots of people who can afford the opposite, to go hop on a plane and do whatever it takes to go to their favorite event because it's their escape, whatever you want to call it. And they will go and they will have fun times and they'll say, this was the best thing ever. Or they won't. And they'll say, I'm never doing it again. Regardless, there are lots of people in this world from varying financial backgrounds, and some choose to just spend their money however they want to do it. Those people will go. Someone's saying the U.S. is starting to say, hold my beer. Yeah, we had that conversation. We definitely are aware. This is not a who's more morally up than another. It's the reality of the U.S. government has not yet given WWE tons of money to put on a show. I said yet, but they haven't. The government has not.
Yeah, cities
the U.S. government. Cities have.
Yeah.
And that's different as well. But yes, an entire country and their government has not. Wish I had $100 million just lying around. Anyway, what should we get into next?
They're gonna hold an event at the White House at some point.
It's inevitable. And Paul's gonna sit there with RFK Jr. and just be like, "No, the brainworms aren't so bad now, are they?"
I think it might have been Zarian in the chat. Is this when they induct Vince into the Hall of Fame?
That weekend?
Yeah, the Saudi
It very
weekend.
well could be.
Yeah.
Very well could be, especially after Turkey was speaking so glowingly about him.
Yeah. I wouldn't rule it out. Honestly. Wouldn't rule it out.
Could very well happen.
Oh, man.
Well, also, we don't know where that lawsuit will be in 2 years.
I mean, true, but I also don't think they certainly care where the lawsuit is.
I
in 2
understand
years.
that. I understand that, but there is a certain amount of yes, no, that like hard yes, hard no's. Like they become softer over time, and if this lawsuit is dealt with or whatever, wherever the lawsuit is by that time, could influence the hard yes versus hard no. Yeah, his name is Turki Alashik. That's Turki, not turkey like what I'm going to eat after this show goes off the air. Mock turkey. It's not real turkey. Well,
Yeah.
it's whatever. I'm not getting into what my lunch is going to be. Where are you going for lunch? You having Chinese food?
No, we had Chinese on Saturday, actually. I'm gonna have like ice cream for lunch.
Did you get the mana?
Huh?
Did you get the mana?
Oh, no.
Son of a bitch. You were all like, oh, if the Chinese food place we're gonna go to, they're gonna get the mana there.
Well, the problem was the Chinese food place was closed. Every time we go to this Chinese place, it's always closed. Like no matter what. It's open. Like we've been on like a Tuesday, a Wednesday, we went on a Saturday. It's like they're just closed, but they're open. So I had to go to a different Chinese restaurant, and they didn't have terramana over there. So no, I didn't get it, unfortunately. But you know what can you do? I did get the Chinese food on Saturday though. Now I'm having like ice cream for lunch. I don't give a fuck today.
Yeah, Cherry Garcia. I finished that Halo Top frozen ice cream, the freezer burnt one.
Oh yeah,
that was fine.
Yeah,
it was okay.
Okay.
It definitely was just. I ate it and I was like, yeah, I can tell that this is not great like this, but also it's supposed to be different. Like the makeup of it is supposed to be different because it's high protein, blah blah blah. So like I let it melt a little bit, and I'm like eating it, and I'm like, no, there's just something tastes. It doesn't taste off. It was a texture thing. I was like, I don't know if this is the texture of ice cream. And someone was like, oh, it's the texture of ice cream that's freezer burnt. I'm like, if I let it melt, it should just taste the same. It was fine. The Cherry Garcia was delicious, though. Great. Yeah, like Jules is like, Halo is terrible. Well, this was my first experience with Halo. And I was like, is this okay? And then my wife was like, it's freezer burnt. And I'm just like, this might influence my feelings towards Halo ice cream, which I'll probably never eat again because I got it for free. I would not spend whatever the retail price is now on that amount of ice cream. So I just kind of took it and ate it and said, all right, that's fine. Leave myself be. You got to go during TNA hours. Thursdays between 8 and 10. I bet you they're watching TNA over at the Chinese food restaurant.
That sounds terrible. I think they close at 10. So
see, that's because they're watching TNA 8 to 10.
That sounds awful to be watching TNA, like, period. That doesn't sound good at all.
There are a lot of things that don't sound good. Since we're up against the 11 o'clock when Vanessa's going to join us, real quick, Dom wins the AAA Mega Campeonato.
Yeah, as I thought would happen. I don't think this was a bad call. I thought this was the way to go. Vikingo got booed.
So booed.
Yeah.
They love the Judgment Day.
I mean,
what is going on? Is AAA supposed to be like Bizarro World WWE? Is that what we're going to start treating it as? Mr. Iguana is going to start getting booed in AAA.
Do you think he will get booed in AAA?
I would love that. If we're going to do a Bizarro World,
nah, they're not going to boo Mr. Iguana.
It's crazy.
Boo Mr. Iguana. That's not gonna
They
happen.
should.
Nah.
They were cheering for the damn Dominico. What's it called? What's the puppet? The other one?
Yeah, Diminito.
Diminito, not Dominico.
Yeah, Diminito.
Dominico is where people go on vacation.
Yeah, Diminito.
Wow. Mr. Iguana is not big in Mexico. You're right. And I've been saying this for a long time, Henry. He's a meme. And therefore the US audience loves that shit. He's big here, but like in Mexico, he just exists. He was always a joke. He was a Joe Hendry in there. I say it here, you guys understand. It's a good correlation. And yeah, that's you put him with Lola Vice. Did you know Lola Vice is a Latina, by the way?
I've heard that rumor.
You've heard that rumor? I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
She likes to let people know, and I need people to understand that there is a rumor that Lola Vice is a Latina. Anyway, but I thought the Worlds Collide show was fine. It was full of some fun matches. The 4-way was good with Dr. Wagner Jr. El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. You get what I'm saying. The son of Dr. Wagner Jr., Ethan Page, who else was in that thing? JD McBighead, and who was the fourth? Dragon Lee.
Yeah,
that was fine. It was a good match. Probably one of the better matches of the night. And
short. That went by like
it did,
quick
but it was,
match. Yeah,
but it was a good beat match. No Xavier Woods in the tag match. Grayson Waller took over.
Yeah, Woods had legit surgery to get a lipoma removed.
Wild. Get well soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's back to full health soon.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's any type of anything like that's sort of major, but it doesn't seem like it's something that's going to keep him sidelined for too long, which is good.
Yeah, got cut open. Got to make sure you heal up properly, and then he can go back to work. And Natty is the number one contender for the Reina de Reinas Championship. She beats Fabi Apache. She's going to take on Laidra soon. I don't know when.
At some point, I don't know when. Yeah,
Natty was good though. I thought the Natty and Fabi match was really well done. This character that Natty's doing is definitely one of my favorites, and there's part of me that does not want to see it cross over to WWE, and I know people wanted it to, but I feel like if she did it, it's going to just get creatively trampled. Whereas where she's doing it outside of the Raw SmackDown environment, it just fits better. It's like, please just keep these apart. Let her do this outside of the glitz and glamour of Raw and SmackDown, and then she can just be Natalya on those other shows when she shows up.
I don't think she's ever going to get to do it on WWE TV, because I don't know if it works as well on WWE TV, because she's just going to get beat. So this shooter gimmick, when you just get your ass beat every time, doesn't exactly play all that well. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think this works when she goes to AAA and when she goes to NWA and when she does Bloodsport, because she's typically going to win those matches. But if you try this on Raw or SmackDown and she's just gonna lose, it's like, all right, well, then what do you have? So, I mean, they could theoretically have her win matches, but let's not go too far here.
I see Jose saying I could see Natty on TNA. I tried for that last year. I tried for that with Anniversary. Didn't happen.
She's pushed for it.
I know she has.
So it's not like this is something. It's not out of the full realm of possibility. I just don't know. I don't know. Like if they're gonna allow her to do that at all, like go to TNA. I think it'd work in TNA because they'd have her win in TNA. But we'll see if she actually gets to go that far.
Dreamer's another one who do the Saudi show for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
you just have that feeling inside you. Minya Abismo Negro came out and he was part of the 8-man squad. He worked the Dean show maybe about a week earlier. So there you go. Someone comes in, takes a WWE and an AEW payday in short order. Good for him. Good for him. His team lost though. That's all I got. Yeah. I thought the show was okay. I didn't think it was a blockbuster event. The Wyatt Six coming out and just wrecking shit at the end of the Psycho Clown tag match with Pagano. That was a little bit unexpected, but also I didn't hate it. It just felt very, we're doing this for the crossover and we're doing it to give the Wyatts something to do until we inevitably have them drop the titles after Halloween. God, I'm not kidding. They're not taking the titles off of them until that, or the Universal experience gets taken down after Halloween.
Right.
Like,
right.
when is November 1st? November 1st.
1st.
What day does it fall on? It falls on a Saturday. So they'll go all the way to that Halloween SmackDown, the 31st. They will either go off the air having lost those titles, or they'll drop them on November the 7th. Mark my words.
Yeah.
If it happens, we're going to come back to Jeremy's birthday, and we're going to talk about the time #Joel was right.
Sorry, hold on. I'm dealing with site issues right now.
That's fine. Them wrecking shit, though, was fun to watch. Very unexpected. They started doing the interview with Vera Rodriguez. Rodriguez? Anyway. And all of a sudden, the music hit, and the crowd was into it. I mean, it was very unexpected. Nice little surprise. But they just come out, and the Wyatts just wreck everyone. I thought it was fun. They took out the ladders, took out the chairs. Everyone got involved, even Nikki Cross. And it was fun to watch for the live crowd. But again, it was one of those, we are prolonging the stories we don't have on SmackDown and just going for it. When are we doing the Andrade talk? After our interview is when we'll do it. We have an interview in about 5 minutes coming in, and after that, we will dive into Andrade, talk about AEW. Cody Rhodes came back on SmackDown, challenges Drew to a match at Wrestle Palooooooooooooooooooozaaaaaaaa. So that's official. We expected that. It was good to see Cody come back. They set it up as Drew was about to do the Claymore through the table, just like he did to Cody to take him out. Drew was gonna do that to Randy. Out came Cody. Cody got his mic time in, pushed right up against that finish, as he always does, just like he did Saturday night's main event. And he made the challenge right as the show was going off the air. Wrestle Palooooooooooooozaaaaaaaa, and that's the match. Cody and Drew for the world title. No shock.
As we suspected. I'm glad they at least had a finish on that match. He needed Drew to win, especially if he was about to get a title shot. Would have made no sense to do a DQ, but that doesn't stop them anyway. And it was a fine match. Drew and Cody. It's a good match. Wrestle Paloooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooo how it goes.
We will be there no matter what. Shall we hit a couple super chats?
Yeah.
Matthew Hooks sending one saying, "Happy birthday. Thanks for this crazy morning show." Well, thank you
Thanks,
for the
Matthew.
birthday wishes to my sister-in-law. Thank you for that, Matthew. And to Jeremy as well. And Jay Miller saying, "These Triple H nightcap quotes are wild," saying, quote, "We aren't the sport. We are a story about the sport when storytelling isn't very good." Thank you, Jay Miller.
He's been using this line for over a year. Like, I know it, like the quote just came out again. Look, folks, let's not get mad about something that literally, here, Joel, here. Hold on.
All right.
You ready?
I'm so ready for this.
You ready for this, Joel?
Yes. I live for it.
This is not ITW Investigates, but
We don't have enough time for that.
look at this, folks. Let me make sure I pull out. Hold on. Sorry.
Don't pull out too much.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't want to give him 100% pull out. You go pop your dick, man. He was surprisingly tame on Friday, by the way.
Folks. When's that date? What's the date?
That reads June 27th, 2024 at 1 p.m.
This is a very old saying. This is his go-to cliche line. All right? I'm not going to be up in arms over him saying something that he's been saying for 18 months now, 16 months, whatever it might be. Who cares? This is his dumb quote. This is his cliche quote that he likes to say because he doesn't have any other talking point. That we're not a sport, we're a movie about a sport.
Are we so old that we forget 1999 professional wrestling documentary masterpiece Beyond the Mat, in which Vince McMahon is sitting at his desk and he aggressively swishes the water in his mouth as he says, "We make movies."
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
That's how WWE
Cinema.
always decided to present themselves. They hate wrestling.
Yeah.
The wrestling is the thing that happens because of what they think is the storytelling. The storytelling to them is the drama of the words, not the drama of the wrestling. And that's why I find it funny when people compare WWE to a place. We'll use AEW as an example. AEW doesn't really tell as many of their stories on the microphone as much as they do in the ring. Now, for some people, it fits better one way versus the other. I do think that there is a fair balance to find for any show. That's just me. But like, this is how WWE's always done it. And it doesn't always do it for me, much like with AEW, it doesn't always do it for me to just do it all in the ring. So again, you got to find whatever that balance is. Our guest is here. More importantly, if they're ready for us, give us a thumbs up. Look, they did the thumbs up before I even got there. They're ahead of the game.
They know the bit.
I love it. Joining us from Invoke Pro Wrestling, putting on Malice at the Palace at Lee's Palace in Toronto this Friday, September 19th. It's a 19 plus event, so you heathens, you better be 19 plus or have some form of identification that proves you're some form of 19. Looking forward to this show. Joining us now, Vanessa. I'm not going to mess up your last name because I know you guys Vanessa D.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I almost put it in as Vanessa D because, quite frankly, I don't try and challenge people to pronouncing my last name. Also, I have a cat in the frame here, so.
Oh, we're all about it.
Yeah.
Please enjoy a guest appearance by Philadelphia Cream Cheese.
Wait, hold on. We can't just gloss over. That's the cat's name, Philadelphia Cream Cheese?
That's right. It's Cheese for short, but he's a very good boy, and he's always interested to see who I'm talking to on my iPad. Big wrestling fan. Don't let your cats watch ECW documentaries while you're asleep because the other cat will get the rest.
Cat is over here. Does the cat run the blade?
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me on, you guys. So are we having an ice cream for lunch or what?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Jeremy.
Oh, you've been watching this show? That's terrible. Please don't do that. Oh, that's not good. That's not good watching this show. What is your favorite ice cream?
Well, I've never met a flavor of ice cream that I didn't like, but I mean, like a cereal milk flavor, if you got some cornflakes in there, some actual cornflakes in there. I mean, like a Tiger Tail is an unpopular answer, but a big favorite.
What is Tiger? Hold on.
Okay, so explain Tiger Tail, and I'll tell you a story.
Yeah.
Okay, Tiger Tail is orange ice cream with licorice stripes, and it's like something that I feel like only old people like. But like it was my favorite as a child, and I remember very distinctly my dad getting one of these giant, like industrial size drums of it, because when I was growing up, my folks owned a restaurant, and just absolutely no other child at my birthday party wanting to eat this Tiger Tail ice cream, and I had that until my next birthday party.
So I am the other way around. I got Tiger Tail to spite my dad. Because my dad, and most dads do, they implement what they call the daddy tax, where they buy something like food or whatever, they take a bite or whatever, and they say it's a daddy tax. It's pretty common. Anyway, my dad would do that, and I when I didn't want to touch my ice cream, I would get Tiger Tail because he hated it. And my parents, myself included, assumed that I got Tiger Tail and I secretly hated it myself, but I ate it out of spite, and it's entirely possible because I haven't eaten Tiger Tail since. But you
know what? Spite is a hell of a motivator, and you know what? I feel like we all like things that are for anybody, but not for everybody.
Well, speaking of which, let's talk about some wrestling. Let's talk Malice at the Palace.
Absolutely.
The show, like I said, it's Friday. This coming Friday, September 19th. It's going to be at Lee's Palace, which is a venue that I love here in Toronto. I've played a bunch of shows there. I've watched a bunch of shows there. There's going to be music. There's going to be heavy metal comedy. Pete Angelo's hosting the show. Yeah. MLW champ Cruel's going to be on the show. MV Young, Izzy James, Jesse Mack, not that Jesse Mack, a different one, and a plethora of other wonderful talent. Let's talk about this. No rules, no ring, deathmatch style. Why are we doing this? And tell me about the passion for it.
So for me, like I'm a crossover promoter. I come from like the music scene as well. I've been like an independent music promoter since I was allowed in bars. I play in a country band. I grew up around, metal and hardcore, and that's, ultimately, like within subculture is where my passions lie. So for me, like the combination of like hardcore and heavy metal and wrestling is just such a no-brainer. When I started getting involved in this world, the Canadian Deathmatch cats, especially Sean, and especially Mike, obviously our connection here.
Indeed.
Hell yeah, that's our guy. I mean, they've just been like, it's just sort of one of those things that you find in any subculture when you send the flag up to see who else is gonna, be into it, and you find your people. And it was just like, for me, like right out of the gate, I was like, I want to do something with Canadian Deathmatch. I mean, obviously the deathmatch scene in Canada is, it's not as plentiful as it is on the other side of the border. I would assume in part because there are a lot more regulations here as to what people allow happen in certain places, which is totally fine. I do feel like to a degree this will be a little bit of polite Canadian deathmatch, in terms of like it being a no fire, no glass room. But there's a lot of terrifying shit you can do without those items. Brand St. James has his skate gimmick, which I'm just obsessed with. I think that if I could get that man into the right Canadian city after a fucking Pittsburgh game, I'd have to walk him to his car personally. I love that. But yeah, I mean, like, it's such like an exciting thing to do in another city. I'm based in Vancouver, and Lee's is such an iconic venue. I've just spent the last year working with Moto Live, who is the parent company of that venue. And I actually started Invoke as a sub-brand under them. Actually, this is the first time I'm speaking about this publicly, but I've actually just recently offered my resignation to them in a production capacity, just because there are a few other things that I want to pursue, including just the growth of Invoke and where I want to take it. And, I really love everyone at that company. And it was sort of like a tough choice, easy choice to be like, man, I don't want to leave these people behind, but they're like, wrestling is a heavy lift and I don't know if we want to do it. And in my head, I was like, oh, I know that I want to do it. So like, and they've been really great and very, it's been a very amicable split in terms of like working out the intellectual properties of me leaving with Invoke. And I'm really excited about where that's going to take us next with that in terms of, other cities and other partnerships, because at the heart of it, Invoke's not a traditional promotion in the sense that like, we have a regular roster. There are people that are like on our payroll. There are people that are, specifically, tied to our brand. This is a brand that works to collab with other promotions. For me as a promoter, like whether it's music or wrestling, the way that I operate is I go places and I'm like, holy shit, that doesn't exist where I am. I want to bring that back. Or, there's a band, there's a wrestler, there's, a style of show, there's a concept that I feel is missing where I am, or, is in line with things that I'm working on or people I love are working on. And it's about connecting the gap in terms of, distance and geography and what it looks like when visions sort of come together on that. So in August, we did a collab with Pride Style from Vegas. We did a killer Pride weekend show up here. Just like a good classic brewery parking lot, but we had drag queens in the ring and that was a blast. And, it was a really great way to get a lot of folks out that have never been to wrestling before. And I feel like one thing that's really exciting about being like a promoter, but not being from the wrestling world, is that I get to introduce a lot of people that like were either casual fans, like as a kid or as teenagers, who, understand that they can go to a rock show every weekend, but they don't know that indie wrestling is as accessible as going to like a punk show or, going to like, any other show at least. So for me, like, I'm definitely like that, man. Like, I'm not like a gatekeeper. I'm a gateway. I'm going to force you to like all of the things that I like. And I definitely I'm very conscious of the fact that like, I can feel like when I really start talking about wrestling, I can feel certain friends' eyes glaze over and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm absolutely going to keep doing this to you. But yeah, we've got a hell of a lineup. Obviously, yeah, Cruel just fucking took that belt from Riddle on Saturday. That was beautiful. I mean, really excited to have Izzy James up here. An NWA title defense is really fucking cool. I am really excited to have the whole Total Fucking Chaos crew up. I think what they're doing, again, just having like such a punk faction is just like, it's so near and dear to my heart. And this will definitely not be the last time that I team up with those goblins to unleash some havoc on people. That's for sure.
You touched on it a little bit, but what is the overall like vision moving forward for Invoke? Because I did some light stalking on what I assume is your Pinterest here, and there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, Pinterest.
Oh,
I do my research, light stalking, research, whatever
Pinterest.
You want to call it.
You can lurk Pinterest all day long. I'm like a compulsive Pinterester because my ADHD brain is like, I am hunting and gathering, but it's usually just for like a designer where I'm like, can you like, I want like a skull guy on this poster. But like, what if it's on fire?
Oh, I can tell. I mean, you said it, but there's a lot of different stuff here on the Pinterest. So I don't know if you can really put together what goes into your mind.
I don't
with
know
all
if
of
that's like if that's like a wholly accurate representation. It's just a lot of stuff that I love thrown together. But yeah, I mean, like for me, like there are so many places that I do want to go with this, and there's a lot of different roles that Invoke can play, obviously, in it. Another sort of component to this is that Toronto is the launch show for Local Graps, which is a new indie wrestling listings app, which is in the works right now. A dear friend of mine, Colin, who I'll be working with on sort of growing that brand and just sort of, you know, giving a central place for people to put listings. I know, like, I mean, it's a challenge to keep a website updated. It's a challenge to update, you know, a bunch of different listings sites locally and everywhere else. And, you know, you can find what's coming up on IWTV and you can find what's coming up on Triller, but there's lots of like, there's so many like little indies that, you know, could just use a leg up. And for me, it's really about, and I keep coming back to this statement because when I heard it the first time, it was just like a light bulb. And it's about building a bigger table for all of us to eat off of and then eventually crash through, I would imagine. But that comes to me from a very dear friend of mine from Las Vegas. His name's Kenny Davis. He's one of my favorite ring announcers, Screaming Heart of Las Vegas Wrestling. And so very literally the next thing coming up for Invoke after Malice at the Palace is going to be November 1st in Las Vegas. It will be our first official US show. That is going to be a collab with Marks R Us and with World's Greatest Wrestling, WGW, both Vegas based. And there's going to be, I think, some really big names on that people are probably not expecting. And we're going to start rolling that out later this week. And that's going to be for Kenny's birthday show. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just about, you know, building a bigger table. And I feel like there's a lot of indie promoters, and it's the same in music as it is in wrestling. There's a lot of promoters that just can't fucking walk past each other without hissing at each other like stray cats. And I was like, it's something that you encounter everywhere. Everyone thinks that you're getting a bigger piece of the pie than them. And you're like, buddy, there's no fucking pie unless we get together and bake it. Like there isn't. You know, like none of us got into this line of work to do it alone. Like I don't fill a room with 100 people that feel the same way I do because I don't want to be there with them. And I think that the big difference between, you know, wrestling and a standard show with 3 bands and a DJ is that there are so many moving pieces. There are so many people that contribute to it for like little or nothing, and they're all part of that ecosystem. And I think that they all deserve a lot of recognition. And for me, like I've sort of been like, I've been jokingly throwing around this term, like I'm kind of like a production mark, where I'm like, you know, like I'll watch King of the Kill and I'm like, oh shit, it's here from like Wrestling with Unicorns. And like, you know, like I'm recognizing camera guys and announcers, and like those are like my people, and I love them, and like I am as excited for them to, you know, to go over as I am for like, you know, title holders that I also love.
You're speaking my language as a production person.
Yeah.
As someone who picks apart production on this show and elsewhere on a frequent basis.
And honestly, like for me, like that's where this came from, is when I started working for, one of the biggest production companies in Canada. And when I went from, one of their busiest contract production people to like a full-time employee, they were like, well, you've touched a little bit of everything now. Like, what do you think we're not working on? What would you love to dig into? And it was like comedy, country music, and deathmatch wrestling. And, they let me chase all of those things until they were sick of them. And this one, wrestling stole my heart in a way that I can only describe as like falling in love all over again. Like not since I was like, in my early 20s and like putting on DIY shows in like shitty, like after hour spaces and places that, you can fucking talk your friends into going to half the time. Like, have I felt disconnected or this much like I found a community that like really fed my soul. And so for me, like, honestly, when it came down to it, I was like, this is the thing that I have to choose. This is the thing that's going to eat me alive, and I'm going to let it.
So we're having a lot of talks about food, having a lot to eat, tables, going through them. Let's circle back a little bit. Matthew Justice was on our show.
Yeah.
He recently found himself and Shotzi jumping off of a giant hot dog cart through tables. You were there. This was part of Invoke's.
I was there, yeah.
Let's talk about this moment, because you were firsthand watching everything that unfolded.
I was. And I'm not going to lie to you, that was sort of one of the turning point moments when it came to me being like, Invoke needs to be a separate thing. Because I just saw how stressed out all of my non-wrestling coworkers were. And it was sort of one of those moments at the end of it where they're like, oh, well, thank God we're done with that. We're not going to do any more of that, are we? And I'm like, oh, I am. I sure am. I'm not going to do it with you guys, but this is only the beginning. Yeah. And man, like Matt Justice, I was like, honestly, like even watching his match on MLW on Saturday, like, what are the greatest fucking jumpers of our generation? Let's be real. That. And as I was like, even in the initial, like, sort of production calls Circle 6, and I was like, oh, like Miles Ville jumped off this balcony, we had Inferno jump off of that side, and as soon as I sent him the video, he's like, oh, Justice is gonna want to do that for sure. It was for sure one of the coolest moments in Canadian wrestling history, and I had a really hard time pretending that it wasn't while I was waiting to hear if I was gonna get a call back from the city and the cops that I spent a fair amount of time locked in an office with, explaining to that wrestling is not real. Thank God one of them recognized Shotzi from WWE. Otherwise, I think it would have been a much larger bill that we received. But honestly, like Vancouver being the movie city that it was, I think they were just like, honestly, at the end, they were like, well, did you get a permit for the part that was going outside? I'm like, no, it wasn't supposed to happen. But yeah, it was great. I've got so much love for the Circle 6 crew and everyone on that roster. I think that they really push the boundaries of what's expected. I mean, much to the chagrin of the venues that they may inhabit sometimes, but like, I mean, the hot dog guy was stoked. I think he sold like 100 hot dogs after that. If I like the next show I do in Vancouver, I'm getting that guy to park right out front. I'm like, look, I don't think anyone's gonna jump off it a second time, but like, you're the celebrity now. Let's sell some hot dogs.
There's a promotion here that got one of the hot dog guys that used to park out front of the Rogers Center, the Sky Dome, and he makes the hot dogs for all the shows here. So I get it. You gotta use a good hot dog guy, especially one that lets you be part of the show.
Oh, 100%. And there's like this great moment too, like in one of the clips from that show where like you can see Shotzi and Justice like climbing out of the hot dog cart. He like sticks his head out and he's like, and he like gets out and he starts filming it.
That's amazing.
I was gonna say, did anyone get a hot dog? Because Justice said he didn't get one.
I don't know. I don't know if anyone on our team got a hot dog, but I know there was a very significant lineup outside of that hot dog cart for the time that followed.
He's gonna request to be at all these shows. He's like, yeah, y'all brought me a lot of good business. Jump on one jump, and then I'm gonna sell 100 hot dogs. We're good.
Not bad.
We'll take that.
Listen, bringing new references to hot dogs and handshakes. Let me tell you. Okay, this is actually, you can choose not to answer this. You can plead the fifth. How much was the fine from the city over the incident, if I can ask?
Honestly, it was just the fire department.
Okay.
And it was about $880.
That's not so bad.
And it was just because Shotzi and Rob Shit had those beautiful colored smoke canisters, which as someone that plays in venues regularly, you can imagine don't work in water-based fogger only rooms, especially when those rooms have a fire alarm that can only be turned off by the fire department.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's Shotzi's fault. We're just gonna blame Shotzi for all of this.
I would never blame Shotzi.
Use that Fed money to pay. No, I'm just kidding.
Shotzi makes $880 on the merch stand every time. Oh, she can pay up on this. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's the price of doing business. I've spent plenty of money on advertising shows in my lifetime. I've never had $880 give me that many views before, so
worked out well.
Yeah.
Will there's no ring for the show this weekend.
Is true.
There is music.
There is music.
Is the music playing while everybody's fighting?
No, it's sort of like a before, in between, and after. So basically, the way this show is going to run is Pete Angelo is our host. Absolutely love Pete Angelo. Just this phenomenal, big gay metalhead bear, new wrestler out of Austin. Just an absolute riot. He's been, in that Circle 6 circuit as well. Good buds with Cass and the gang down there. And so he's going to kick off the show. After him, we're going to have Crosshair. We're going to get into a couple of matches. We'll have Rust about the midway point. We're going to have the big 2 matches at the end, and we'll end up the night with a little thrash metal, Zero Tolerance. So everyone can stay and headbang and have some drinks and buy some merch. And everyone's going to stay indoors this time.
Okay. Last question.
Between bands,
Yeah.
you got to go out and have a dart. I'm not going to stop anyone from doing that.
Last question, because we are music heads here. Joel more than me, but there's a very famous song by a very famous band that I want to know. Have you listened to this song? Have you heard Creep by Smashing Pumpkins?
Yes.
Yeah? All right. See, another person who's heard it, Joel.
I hate you so much.
My wife is giving me...
Good.
My wife is wearing an Agents of Oblivion shirt, by the way. So I don't know if that's up anybody's alley, but Creep by Smashing Pumpkins is a good song.
If you're in town, if you're in Toronto, I'm not the reason you're coming to see it, but if you are, go to Malice at the Palace. Go, it's Friday. It's September 19th. That's this coming Friday. It's a 19 plus event. I love Lee's Palace. I really do. Don't go to Dance Cave. It's going to be full of weird university kids on their first week of there. Dance Palace is upstairs. Go to Lee's. It's a bigger venue.
Burying these people for?
I'm burying the top load. I'm not burying the bottom load. I've played Lee's. Whatever. I played them.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to spill over into the Dance Cave and spend an extra, I don't know, $10. I don't see the ticket prices anymore.
If the fight goes up there, then that's when you go. But otherwise, it's all at Lee's. Go check them out.
If the fight goes up there, I think I'm going to send a bigger bill because I'm not on salary anymore.
That's why you need to go buy a bunch of tickets at ticketweb.ca. Got it. MV Young's going to be there. Izzy James going to be there. Jesse Mack's going to be there. Cruel, the new MLW champion, is going to be there. He's got a handicap match. He's going to beat 2 asses at once. Good for him. There's going to be plenty. And Pete Angelo is going to host. And there's 3 heavy bands on the card. It's going to be a lot of fun. Invoke's going to be there. All the Canadian Deathmatch pals are going to be there. Vanessa, before we let you go, plug away, and we'll get people moving about their day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Please come to the show on Friday. Malice at the Palace, at least Palace in Toronto. It's our first Toronto show. It probably will not be our last. It is the first of many Invoke shows to come. Lots of heavy hitters, like you said, Evie Young, Cruel, Izzy James, Brandon St. James, Maria Belmont out of Montreal, just absolutely going to take Jesse Mack to task. Again, really excited about that, Kyle. If anyone hasn't seen it yet, go watch his showing on King of the Kill. He really did some damage on that. Truly the mess maker. Yeah, I mean, I could talk about the cats on this bill all day. So please just show up and see him. or you can message me and I'll talk at you about them too. I'm happy to do that.
Why not? It's fun.
Yeah.
And plus, if you're going to All Out the next day, the show's at 3, so you can go out, have a nice.
So
long
much
night.
time.
You're
Yeah,
fine.
absolutely. And I will probably make it to All Out in some state of hangover. So
I'm contractually obligated, so I will be there.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I might bail and go see Carcass for an 8th time, but I'm on the fence.
Oh,
Where are they? Are they at Queen? Oh my God, where are they playing?
I think they're at Danforth. I'd have to check my phone.
Yeah, and 4th would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Carcass fan. I've seen Carcass a handful of times. Actually, it was really funny back in 2013, 2014.
Well, they're the
Gosh,
Phoenix.
another lifetime ago, when I was playing in like a Northern Soul band, I ended up being on a tour that was like literally just like either like in the same city or leapfrogging in Carcass and Black Dahlia Murder tour for about 2.5 weeks, and I got to see Carcass and Black Dahlia Murder almost every night. It was fucking great because when you play in a band that plays like an early like bar show and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna go to this club show, or vice versa, where you're going to like an all ages metal show and you're like, well, I'm gonna go do my other thing now with a bunch of my drunk metalhead friends in tow, then that's the best time. I just think for me, like wherever you get to like make fans and like crossovers of like new worlds, if it's like music and wrestling, or you know like all like anywhere where fandom intersects for me is like really where I live. Like for me, like fan culture is always like the most interesting thing for me. Like I worked for the Whitecaps in their first 2 seasons in the MLS. Like, I've worked in corporate cannabis. I've been, I've production managed and tour managed and everything. And for me, it comes down to like, what is like the fan relationship with the thing that they love? And, wrestling has so many rabid fans, and there's so many ways that people can interact with the things that they love, and to like push those boundaries and to create new sort of cruxes of where like fandom meets is like, it's just such a fun thing to be involved in. And I'm the biggest mark in the world. Like I ring announce one show and like, I'm like, oh, it was awesome. Like we should do it again. And I'm like, no, I've got a vehicle for being drunk with a microphone. It's a band. I want to be there yelling. I would ideally I think more than ever, we just need a place where we can like, choose a side and yell. That's not at each other. Sometimes it's at each other, but it's about that guy, the fucking heel. So it's, it's a bonding experience, and it's important. And if you need a place to yell and scream and cheer and listen to heavy metal and hardcore music and find your community and see something you've never seen before, then please come to Malice at the Palace on Friday.
Do it. It'll be a fun time. People will be yelling. People will be screaming. People will be rocking, man. People are going to be banging their heads, and not just the wrestlers on the bars. They'll be doing it on stage too. Go check it out. Vanessa, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
A resounding hell yeah, brother. Thanks.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Vanessa.
We'll see you soon.
See you later.
Oh, that was fantastic. Love talking wrestling. Great. Love talking about music. Carcass, by the way, is going to be at the Phoenix Concert Theater. One of the most awkward theaters to navigate when you get in. The stage, when you get into the main venue, you walk past the stage. So it's like you have to go all the way over to get like a spot to watch the band, because you're coming in almost from the back. It's a really awkward stage to navigate. But anyway, if you want to go see Carcass, go see them there. But you should go to Malice at the Palace. It is Friday. I've said it a million times. Go find tickets, ticketweb.ca. It's affordable. It's fun. This is a good chat. I like it when we have nice, fun chats.
Oh, she was fantastic. God bless. She was paying attention to the show before she came on.
It's a big problem. You don't like
it.
You don't like hearing that.
Please spend your time better, everybody. What are we doing?
Oh, shall we get to the main topics at hand?
Sure.
May as well. Valid sends a super chat saying, I'm not sure I'm ready to call Andrade a vanilla fumble or the funniest thing ever. Our generation is missing this kind of nonsense from wrestlers. So for those who were watching Grapsody live on Saturday, towards the end of the entire show, which makes this even funnier given the conversation that they were having on the show, Phil and Red.
About 4 o'clock.
Yeah, actually, no, the show only went 2:52 this week. When I saw that it ended under 3 hours, I was like, are they okay? Should we do a wellness check? No, it turns out they just had other things. They actually had things to do on Saturday. So good for them. But yeah, they had a conversation about what AEW wrestlers who have departed the company could make a big deal coming back. And it's funny that they were discussing it, and Phil was kind of holding back, and eventually he lets out. He's like, no, it's not Punk, although Punk is one of the people. He's like, it's Andrade. And he didn't know at this time, or if he did, he was holding back. So they're talking about all these, potential people coming back, and he mentions Andrade. They talk about it, and then Sean jumps in, and the chat had also talked about the fact that the Andrade had been moved over to the alumni section, and that started the roller coaster. Sean pops in, he says, "Hey, never drop in on you guys, but I'll put it here." Andrade departs WWE. He's gone, and that sparked a whole level of conversation. Andrade has left WWE. He's been released, is what multiple outlets had reported, including ourselves at Fightful Select. SI, John Alba, did a lot of work on this. This all started with, on our end, Wrestle Mobs drawing attention to it from Sean Ross Sapp. And here we are. Andrade, once again, is a man without an island, professional wrestlingly speaking. And now we don't know what the official cause of the release is. Was not planned. It was not part of a larger scale of releases. It seems to be an isolated incident involving Andrade specifically, and what that means is going to be up to the information that comes out regarding it. Your reaction when it started up?
Oh, I want to add John Alba's report from SI that Andrade had at least one wellness policy violation during his most recent WWE run. It is not known how exactly he was in violation of the policy, or whether or not he in fact tested positive for a banned substance. WWE can suspend talent for failing to produce a test. It is also not clear if it directly led to his release, but it was noted that he was suspended without pay as a result. And Alba also adds that Andrade was told to leave a taping last month and was escorted out of the building. A high-level source asserted that this dismissal from the building was in relation to his most recent suspension, and that it affected major creative plans for his tag team with Rey Fenix. He was teaming with Fenix leading up to SummerSlam. It looked like they really had something with that team. Like, it wouldn't have shocked me if they had won the tag team titles. That's how over they had kind of gotten. And I think a little unsuspectedly gotten that over. They were obviously in the TLC match at SummerSlam. That was Andrade's last match, was at SummerSlam. And then Phoenix was also off television during that time until Friday, coincidentally enough, where he answered Sami Zayn's open challenge for the U.S. title. As far as Andrade goes, the guy is super talented. I don't know what goes on backstage. He has this wellness suspension for this run with WWE. He was publicly a little disgruntled with WWE during his first run. He allegedly got into a fight with Sammy Guevara during his AEW run and had some disgruntulations. I think that's a word. That's okay.
I don't think it's a word.
In AEW as well. Tony Khan said nice things about him on the way out. But I don't know
also
how.
Said nice things about other people. So
yeah, Tony doesn't really bury people on the way out unless they can't wrestle. But he said nice things about him, and I don't think he's going back to AEW. I don't know where Andrade goes to. I don't. Does he go to CMLL and maybe make appearances at AEW through CMLL? Does he go to TNA? Does TNA welcome him? Does he go to New Japan? Does he want to go to Japan? I don't know. I have no idea.
Seen a lot of people mention he should go back to AEW. He should go back to AEW. This is the first time in several years where you're not hearing about a big issue in the locker room in AEW. Jeremy, we just talked about it. What's one thing that Andrade caused a little bit of when he was in the AEW locker room? He tried to fight a talent. He was told not to, and you can feel the way you want to feel about Sammy Guevara. It doesn't matter. Someone's told not to do something. You should be able to not do it. I don't really expect Andrade to show up in AEW, because here's the other thing about Andrade that people just don't know or see as much as other people who are in the lucha reporting / knowing world. Andrade thinks he's a bigger draw than he is. And when people tell him, okay, prove it, and then he doesn't prove it, he becomes completely disheartened. He becomes disassociative. He doesn't care. He shows the amount of disgruntledness that he did on his first way out of WWE and then later on with his run in AEW, you saw he wasn't around. And it's not because he wasn't booked. It was just because he wasn't being given what he thought he should be given. He wants to be placated. He wants to be given every opportunity. And someone's going to sit here and tell me, oh, this is WWE propaganda. It's not. It's really not. Sometimes it really is the performer's fault. And sometimes it really is. And it's not just he has some issue that's affecting him. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, it's a drug issue. Because no, I don't know if that's a case. And if it is, I hope he gets better. But I'm not going to sit here and say that it is. But it very much has been told to me and others over years that he has a larger expectation of himself than that which is given to him. And when he doesn't have his ego placated or when he doesn't have the opportunities match his expectations, he gets upset. So where does he go from here? Honestly, he could sweet talk TNA into giving him a spot and he would be a champion there. If Mike Santana is leaving, guess what? There's another guy you can put under contract for a year, give him the Nick Nemeth deal, and he can win that title and be the centerpiece in TNA, and maybe that'll work. That's fine. I personally, someone who watches and covers TNA, I don't really want to see it that bad, but he's a good wrestler. I'm not gonna put down his abilities in the ring. I think he has a purpose in wrestling, but I don't think top guy North American wrestler is where he sits on the pantheon of professional wrestling. Him going back to WWE, it was kind of a shit sandwich for him because he showed up, he got an opportunity, and then his personal life took another turn, and that was one of the things that kind of gave a lot of people talking points when it came to their feelings towards Andrade. So where he goes next, people are saying CMLL. They have a working relationship with AEW. Does he need to go back there? Will he be welcome back there? Maybe. Lucha, they're more willing to let people in if there's an ego problem. They are. He could also go off and make his own company. This is another thing that certain people have been alluding to, but I don't know if that's what he wants to do, unless he's the main guy there and they make $1 billion. So, yeah.
I think he will. I think he can. Oh, he did post thank you WWE.
Yeah, because people brought up the fact that he left and said F you WWE. This is his other side of the coin.
I do think there is a world where he can go to CMLL. Now, yes, they have the relationship with AEW. That doesn't mean AEW has to use him. CMLL has plenty of talent that AEW doesn't use. He can just be part of CMLL and that be that. I think there is a small world where he might do a run in Japan if that's something that he wants to do. I mean, LFI doesn't really exist over there. Los Ingobernables doesn't really exist over there at this point. They're kind of Los unaffiliated right now, but maybe he just wants to go there to do a run over there. I don't know what Andrade wants. I don't. You would think he would have been happy his first WWE run, AEW, this WWE run, but clearly there was a disconnect with something. I thought the team with Phoenix was great. They were having great matches. They were getting over. Crowd was into them. And then it just stopped. And I don't think Phoenix really wanted it to stop. So I don't know. But also the WWE booking doesn't do tons of favors when it comes to that stuff. So maybe he just wanted more. I do think there is credence to he wants more. And I understand that as a performer, you're probably always going to want more. And for whatever reason, whether it be he's not reaching that level with the audience or they just don't want to give him more, he doesn't get more. Again, that could be a twofold reason. It could be like, all right, you're working, but you're not working like main event level. So we got a nice spot for you in this tag team. We got a nice spot for you in this mid card. That's where we see you. Or it's, he's just not given the opportunity to be in the main event level, and that's what he wants. Which fair enough. If that's what he wants, I don't blame him. But he's probably got to realize that he's probably not going to get that at this point. And look, AEW, I don't think they care to have him. again, Tony said nice things on his way out. Apparently, they did offer him a contract, and he did not want to re-sign. I'm sure Tony feels some type of way about that. But when it comes to that, they got Andrade at a time where they were kind of taking all the ex-WWE talent. That's when they got Rusev, Miro. That's when they got Malachi. That was 2021. Punk came in. Danielson came in. Like they were just loading up on everybody in 2021. That ain't their MO anymore. They're more likely taking talent from the independent scene or TNA or Japan, and not so much the ex WWE guys. Like they don't take a ton of those talents at this point. They're putting more focus on their own talents or putting focus on the talents that aren't ex WWE guys. Like who's the last? I'm sure it's some name that is just slipping my mind. But who's the last big ex WWE guy? Was it Lashley in them? I'm sure there was somebody else.
Lashley's was the last one that really got the contract.
Lashley was about a year ago.
That was a year ago.
At this point.
Yeah.
They've made releases since then. They've had plenty of releases. People were surprised like Dakota Kai didn't immediately come in. And maybe she will.
I was going to say a couple of them have worked dates. Like Isla Dawn worked in Glasgow. And
right. Yeah, I'm not counting that.
Well, no, but I'm saying like Hayden Carter worked, or the former Lacey Lane, as she is now, worked a Ring of Honor. So I get what you're saying. My point was,
those are one-offs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just adding to your point.
Yeah, I'm talking about like who is actually signed. Yeah, so people are confirming that it is Lashley and Hurt Syndicate. So I was correct. There hasn't been anybody in a year, and I think that shows just where they're at, and people have been released in that year. And even I think Dakota Kai would be a nice addition, but that hasn't really been broached with anybody. It doesn't seem, and maybe that is some on her side as well. We don't know if there's been conversations back and forth between AEW and Dakota Kai. But yeah, they just haven't been on this, hey, let's sign everybody who WWE releases kick. And the fact that this is now his second time leaving WWE and he's already left AEW, I don't think they see a need for him. And if they do, he's probably going to be in the same position of having good matches kind of in the mid card, but not really elevating past that. And how long before he's like, I want more, and it just ain't working?
Oh, he'll just make something else, and he'll just make up his own company.
That was a rumor for a while, right?
Yes, it was.
That he was going to like start his own company.
Yeah. No, take all your WWE money, and he's going to blah, 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 blah. Grizzled Young Veterans are on the men's roster on AEW?
I mean, I know they got like added over the weekend or something. They've been part of the company in some capacity since All Out, the first Wembley show, the second Wembley show, one of the Wembley shows.
Second one.
The second? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Like they're technically signed. I feel like they've kind of been technically signed since then. I'm not really counting them as like this is a big WWE run that big WWE signing that they have made, because I think they've been kind of sort of technically signed since a year ago. And I mean, we've seen how often they get used.
Yeah, no, that's I was more coming from the fact of like they never were officially announced as signed. Right. And there's been a lot of ambiguity about whether or not they have signed with the company. That's all I'm getting at. Not the comparison to the last big WWE, because I was looking at the roster just to hold up your point, and then I was like, I see Ace Austin and he got the graphic, blah blah blah, and then I saw at the bottom Zach Gibson. I'm like, wait a minute, is this a misprint? And no, they're both there. So curious. I'd like to know if that's official, because if it was added over the weekend, then it's worth asking about when Tony inevitably comes in to tend to his garden. It's your birthday. The least he could do is stop by for a conversation about Time Cop.
The Jaguars lost yesterday. He's probably in a bad mood.
Why would he be in a bad mood? Never once has Tony Khan ever been in a bad mood. What are you talking about?
He's
I say this with the utmost respect. He's the golden retriever of professional wrestling. They're always happy. Golden retrievers are always happy.
I mean, fair.
I mean, the only time
he's probably not in a bad mood, but he is probably like, okay, I don't feel like coming on this show to talk wrestling. I mean, he probably actually would want to talk wrestling because football ain't going too great for him right now.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about. Yeah, I don't want to talk about football with the football guy. I want to talk about wrestling with the football guy.
Let's talk about how terrible the Panthers are. But yeah, the Jags beat the Panthers. Great win, Tony. Your team sucks too.
Suddenly you'll be happy again. Who knows? It's your birthday. He should come and tend to his garden. He should come back with a packet of cigarettes. He said he'd come back with.
Tony's not coming on this show anytime soon.
Oh, buddy, I'm gonna make it happen.
WWE's got to do another DQ. That's when he'll do it. And when he knows we have no WWE talk, he'll be like, all right, I'll come on the show now.
Could happen on SmackDown if Cody had come in to stop that match.
Yeah.
It's not like there was much to talk about from SmackDown. There were 3 matches and Brock Lesnar ripped his pants. Woo!
Andrade would be beastly in Ring of Hallucinations.
Oh, he would hallucinate the shit out of things.
So I think we're gonna do this fake Ring of Hallucinations review show.
You took a weekend to think about it, didn't you?
Yeah, I got to talk to SP3. Joel, you're welcome, but you don't seem as sold on this as myself and SP3.
I want to do a million things for this morning show. I don't know if this is one of those things.
Well, sometimes you just got to do things, Joel.
Oh no, I don't need to be the face of everything the show does. There are other things I want to do too.
All right, you're well welcome to do anything that you want. You know that.
We're getting there. Don't you worry. We're working on it.
I think me and SV3 are gonna do this fake review show. We're gonna keep it as like an hour. I don't want to go like a 2 hour. I mean, we probably get off on a bunch of fucking tangents, so who knows? But like, I want to keep it within a decent amount of time. It'd air on the weekends. We would do this on the way. We might like can some stuff, but I don't know. We'll see. I gotta talk to SV3 a little bit more about it, but I want to do this because I think it's a super dumb idea, and that's why I want to do it.
Going back to my point, by the way, Tony Khan is like the nicest effing guy ever with the best.
Yeah, everyone says that about.
Yeah, because he's a golden retriever of wrestling.
Yeah,
always happy. You were just like,
not
always happy, except for that one time where he's like, I don't need to take this shit. I get it.
Yeah, that ruled.
I don't think we can can the C-suite because WWE is just happy to have someone talk about LFG and Evolve on the. No,
it's gonna be its own. It's gonna be its own standalone thing. It's not gonna be like part of In the Weeds. It's going to be a standalone show because we're gonna get on so many tangents and stuff that otherwise it would take up too much of our actual show. And I do want like bait thumbnails that Joel, you're gonna have to do that. Yeah. I do want like silly looking thumbnails for this silly review show.
I hate AI. I might resort to AI for this bullshit.
Honestly, fine. Like I think that'd be even more hilarious.
No, I can't do it. I would lose respect from so many people, including ones who are frequently on this show and love food in Texas.
Oh.
Where's he been? Enjoying food in Texas.
Yeah, good for Cam. Fuck it. He didn't need to be on this show. Cam is smart. He gets away from things at times.
It's true. I can't blame him. Listen, he's busy. He's enjoying his life. Good for him. Yeah. Did he just get taken out? Oh no! This is what happens. This was unexpected. Jeremy just ran from.
I don't know what happened. Sorry.
He just ran from the grind.
I don't know what happened.
And all of a sudden I saw myself pop up. I'm like, what happened here? But it was a bit.
No. That wasn't a bit. My fault. I clicked the button by accident and I didn't realize it was going to like, usually it gets the like, are you sure you want to leave? Like when I misclick something. And it didn't give me that. It just completely just jumped me out. Yeah, I should have lied and been like, you kicked me off, but no, that didn't happen.
Happy birthday. Go away. Happy birthday wrap early. Oh my goodness. Shall we talk a little bit about Collision before we get out of here?
Okay, sure.
You spoiled it, not we. You spoiled it. But it's official. I mean, it was official when they taped it, but now it's officially out there. Tables, thumbtacks, and no disqualification for Briscoe and MJF because those things are all the same.
Yeah.
This All Out card is turning into one. So I had a friend of mine who's media adjacent being like, I don't know how I feel about this card. And I'm like, this is chaotic. This card is just full on chaos. They're leaning into last year's All Out, where it was like, All In is a celebration of wrestling. All Out is we're going to bleed all over the place and you're going to love it. And they're really turning All Out this year into something similar. They've got the tables match. They're doing the 4-way ladder match that you and I basically brought into fruition.
Yeah, I noticed they announced the ladder match. I was like, we just had a conversation that they've not done a ladder match in forever. And then all of a sudden, here's a ladder match. So we should definitely get credit for that.
We should. They're doing, the what do you call it? The coffin match is happening.
Yes.
There's just a bunch of shit thrown at the wall, and I'm saying that lovingly because this show just looks crazy, and it does. The show on paper doesn't make sense. But it's going to be chaos, like Jules is saying. It's going to be chaos. So I was explaining to my friend, I'm like, you'll get Eddie Kingston making his return at All Out. You're going to get that kind of feel good crowd pop where people have been missing Eddie Kingston and they're looking forward to seeing him back in the ring. Big Bill is the right opponent. I think Big Bill has come a long way to reproving himself, not only with the audience, but also the backstage. Cause he mentioned it on Collision a few weeks back. This was where he hit his rock bottom. Right. And I don't think people really know that it's not just that was a statement of fact. He had his incident at House of Hardcore at 2300 Arena where he literally convulsed, seized on the floor, had to be taken out of the venue. And it was a scary moment. People didn't know if he would be okay. And obviously he's come a long way in recovery and just figured out what he needs to get better, both as a person and as a wrestler. And because of those things, he deserves the opportunity to do something like this with Eddie, have his return match and do it on a pay-per-view. So again, just a lot of fun, unexpected things happening on this show. And the strangest thing is they're doing this triple threat the unified title match.
Yeah, that one.
It's the
that
only
one screams like
we had to
right,
do
let's
something.
Yeah. Because I know people had hopes for like that unified title, and then they haven't done a whole lot with it. It's just kind of existed.
I don't know what they expected. I mean, I understand what they expected, but I don't know how they expected to get there, or who they expected it to make based on the two people who competed for it and the stories told coming out of it. I mean, you had Swerve. So again, it's a new title, so you do have to establish it further than just the two people going after it. You had the match against Swerve. I don't know what this is all supposed to be in service of when it comes to the unified title specifically.
No, it's supposed to advance the Okada and Takeshita story, which they can't do that one-on-one because Takesha's probably about to win the IWGP title, and so they don't want to beat him. And they don't want to beat Okada.
In the Dome. That's right. It's got to be the Wrestle Kingdom main event.
Yeah, so they don't want to beat Okada either.
Either way, looking forward to it. Daniel Garcia, they have completed the residency with Daniel Garcia as a whole new man. Comes in, wide-eyed, bushy tail. I need to be a better person. And he comes out being like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm going to join Jon Moxley and I'm going to beat ass. And that's what he did. And then Matt Menard got completely in his face, in Daniel Garcia's face, and nothing happened yet. It's going to be a really gory beatdown of that man, isn't there?
Yeah, Matt Menard's gonna probably get killed, unfortunately.
That's unfortunate. Doesn't he have a partner? Where's Angelo Parker?
Yeah, he came back for like a one-off and then disappeared.
They need to tell us what happened. Did the Death Riders get him?
That would be good if they just like said that the Death Riders get him. You don't even have to like mention anything else. Just he got.
Going back to the ladder match that we somehow brought back, how are they doing qualification matches at September to Remember? They are.
Yeah.
I thought I heard that. I haven't seen talk
the
other than I did watch the product. I said I did. I just didn't hear confirmation that they were doing the matches in September to Remember. Jet Speed versus Killswitch and Kip Sabian, Bang Bang Gang versus the Young Bucks and Top Flight and Josh Alexander Hechicero. Okay, there you go. So Jet Speed, Young Bucks, Josh Alexander Hechicero.
I think some of those can go Yeah, like it wouldn't shock me if Top Flight gets in there.
Josh has to be on the card. We're in Toronto, baby.
He gets a 0 hour. He gets a tailgate brawl match.
They only need one match for tailgate brawl, and it's the 6-woman hardcore tailgate brawl-a-thon thing that they're doing.
Can they just do the blood and guts match, please?
So I saw some conversation about this on the internet, because of course I saw it on the internet, where someone was complaining about, the women. Sorry, it's 8 men. It's 8 women. Okay, sure, it's not any better. I thought it was 6 in this one. It was 8. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Multi-woman match on the tailgate brawl. Someone was discussing the fact that the women's titles are so tied up that these other women on the undercard are not getting opportunity, and therefore the women's division can't move forward. I don't give much credence to that argument, because you can have singles stories and singles matches or tag team matches where people have a personal issue, all in service of getting to the world title or the TBS title. I don't think you need to do, and this was something we talked about, I don't think you need to do all-star blank person match every single show to prove the point of we're doing this. This is kind of the hyperfixation thing that we get into. The Casino Gauntlet was brought back for multiple times. The money matches are another one. Now it's all-star blank man tag. Stuff like that is what gets in the way more of telling multiple stories with multiple people than blaming the titles as the reason you can't, or the people holding the titles as the reason you can't tell these stories. You know what I'm trying to say?
I don't necessarily think that these matches get in the way of telling the stories, because these matches are in service of the stories. I think what gets in the way of telling these stories is you have a logical end between Thekla and Queen Aminata, but you put Thekla in the 4-way at the pay-per-view, so you're doing her and Aminata on Dynamite. Thekla's probably going to win that, and now you've kind of stepped on the Queen Aminata Thekla feud, which could have ended in some type of like hardcore blow-off match. I think that's where things are getting mixed up, is like they can't get to the logical endpoint on this. So that's why they keep doing these multi-women tag team match. Like there's an endpoint between Thekla and Aminata, but they're going to do it on Dynamite where you kind of know the winner, because they ain't going to have someone who's about to challenge for a title lose that match. I think they've just kind of booked this in a backwards way almost.
So this is kind of what I'm getting at, is doing multi-person tags every week to advance a story isn't really telling a story. Whereas you can use Thekla versus Aminata as an example. You could have done it as a Dynamite and made it a big match. You could have done that. And it could have been Thekla gets the win and then she challenges Toni Storm. And then someone else wins whatever, and it becomes, you can build the 4-way differently. I think that having the multi-person match, and I don't like the argument of people complain about them not being on TV, therefore they can never be right. No, if you tell a cohesive story with the cards you have, then people won't complain about the story being told as long as the story is good. Just throwing people in a match and saying, go fight each other and it's going to be great, I don't think you tell a really solid story that way. Whereas, again, going back, Thekla, Queen Aminata, they beat the shit out of each other. People thought it was a work, and then it very clearly, people thought it was a shoot, and then people very clearly got into it, and they enjoyed it. And now Jamie Hayter's back, and suddenly it's like, well, we're just not going to pay off Aminata and Thekla the way that you could have paid it off, or that it should have been paid off, arguably, with these two beating the shit out of each other again in some sort of hardcore match. I just don't know what I don't know what to do. Take a nap.
There's ways to do it. And again, I think with these multi-men and women matches, they've set up some good stuff coming out of them. When you do it as often as you do, then yeah, people get a little tired of it. And when it doesn't hit its logical conclusion, because you're doing Thekla and Aminata on Dynamite, but then you're still just running another 8-woman tornado match at the pay-per-view. It's like some of them are purposeful in this tag, but some of them, they've just had a couple of matches against each other, and they've just kind of, it felt like they just pulled them into all of this with no great rhyme or reason. They just gotta they gotta be more cohesive with this. I don't mind these multi-women matches on Dynamite, and then or Collision, and then you hit the end point at the pay-per-view. They didn't do that here. They missed the end point on the pay-per-view for honestly two separate matches, because the Tony just wanting to face 3 different women isn't a great story either when she's been the champion that she's been, and you can't set up a single challenger for her. Instead, you're just doing what feels like a thrown together 4-way, because Statlander is kind of doing stuff with Death Riders and Willow, but she's not even in this match. Thekla and Amanada are feuding, but only one of them is in this match. And Jamie Hayter just returned, and the last time we saw her, she lost to Mercedes. And it seems like Hayter and Thekla should be a one-on-one match and not, them just being in this 4-way match. So the idea is there with these multi-women and men matches, but the execution as far as hitting the peak has been a little iffy.
Yeah. Well, regardless, it is All Out week. There will be plenty of news. I'm sure someone is going to give an interview where someone's going to say, "Oh, must be the AEW pay-per-view week. So something negative comes out," and we're just going to sit here and be like, "All right, well, let's talk about it." But anyway, I think Collision was fine. We listened. We told you how Collision was on Friday. It's up to you whether or not you enjoyed it after that. MJF and Mystico had their parking lot altercation. That match is on Friday for CMLL at the 92nd anniversary. Good for them. Yeah. See, Henry's got it. Here's Joel being negative on pay-per-view week. Buddy, you get me tomorrow, and then you don't see me again until Friday. Okay, be happy.
Yeah, Joel's back tomorrow.
Taking Wednesday off to go to Dynamite in London.
So you can boo the entire show.
I can boo the entire show. Yeah. They're gonna put me in the front row, and I'm just gonna sit there. AEW Switch so sucks. Make me sit for 3 hours for your stupid live program. I'm gonna do it as a bit, and I'm gonna be so pissed. Oh my goodness! But yes, it should be good. I'm going to London, ain't it? That's right. Go take a 2-hour train ride. It's a really fast train to London, England. I'm gonna take pictures of the empty seats. Oh no, I won't. I can't do that. I can, but I won't. I'm really just excited for the hotel stay. Anyway, be a good time. And yeah, I'll be at All Out on Saturday. I will be at Mystery on Sunday. I got to talk to them about some stuff. Looking forward to the week. It's going to be a good week. I feel like a lot of good wrestling is happening. Is WWE doing anything this weekend?
Wrestle Paloooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooooo What a guy. Old Codester is. What a guy.
Bringing us on that roller coaster. They got, listen, man, going back to All Out, they got over 10,000 seats sold for that show so far. Looking like it'll be a fun one. It'll be a good time.
Yeah,
and they're not putting us in the press box.
That segment with R-Truth and Brock sucked
so bad. I'm sitting there just being like, I'm glad I started late because I just fast forwarded. Oof.
Yeah.
I tweeted it out. I said, I'm glad he ripped his pants because that segment was ass.
Yeah, that segment sucked, man.
It's exactly what I expected too. That's the worst part.
Like Brock, I'm sure wanted to work with Truth because he likes Truth and Truth pops them. But they had no ideas with that whole thing. They must have said go out there and wing it or hear your bullet points instead of a script. It was bad, man. It was not good. Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, SmackDown didn't really have a ton of me. Like, we didn't even talk about the women's title match, mostly because it ended in a count out, and then they added. They're getting cute with the bullshit. And the match was fine. It looked like they were fighting, not real, but like they looked like they were doing the thing. And I'm gonna do a triple threat match next because Nia Jax always finds a way, baby. Just like love finds a way. Nia Jax gets into a title shot eventually. Yeah. Is there anything else that we need to get into before Raw preview?
Oh, we got to preview Raw? All right.
Sure. I mean, we don't have to, but they're in Springfield, Massachusetts. near the home of Jonathan Cena, who will be on the show tonight. 7 p.m. Eastern start time. You get an hour earlier.
Hilarious because, they're doing it to essentially combat football. But this week is the double Monday night game. So football starts at 7 tonight.
Amazing. God bless. Hey, I'm going to enjoy the fact that it's on at 7 because it means hopefully the show ends by 9:30 Eastern and I get to go to bed at a reasonable hour.
Yeah, I'm not covering Raw tonight. I got NXT duty tomorrow instead.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Gonna pop
it's basically a Raw.
You're gonna pop your dick. Go pop your dick, man.
Okay, I will.
Okay, good. John Cena.
I gotta pop my dick, man.
Again, incredibly tame on Friday. Do not know what happened. They told him to knock that dick talk off.
Nah, it's just like, NXT, there are no rules. No one's paying attention.
I thought he was going to, when Tiffany came out for that title match, I was so sure that he was going to say it again, but say it very, very obviously neck.
Nah, he likes to...
He likes to be ambiguous?
Nah, he likes to kind of no-sell. He'll talk about it on his radio show or his podcast, I'm sure. But, on TV, he'll no-sell it a little bit.
Anyway, John Cena will be live on Raw. CM Punk and AJ Lee will go face-to-face with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. I'm sure this is where Becky and Seth get their heat back. This is the go-home Raw, isn't it?
Yeah,
My goodness. Yeah. So I assume they'll stand tall. Lyra Valkyria takes on Roxanne Perez. Penta and Kofi Kingston, they clash. And El Grande Americano takes on Dragon Lee. Very happy Dragon Lee, by the way.
You know who Booker has modeled his announcing after? And it hit me this weekend when I was watching old wrestling.
I am curious about this answer.
Vince McMahon.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Vince does a lot of, and here we go, the what a maneuver stuff as well. Just saying shit that has no connection with anything, just throwing out phrases. Booker does a lot of that. And when I was listening to, we were rewatching Mind Games over the weekend. And yeah, listen to Vince on commentary. There's some Booker T there. And listen to Booker T. And there's some Vince there.
Vic Joseph and Booker T amalgamated together. That's Vince. Yeah. Dude who barely calls the moves and dude who pops his dick, man. With a little bit of Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, there's some Jerry Lawler there, but there's
horny. That's just the horny vibe. That's all.
Yeah. There's a lot of Vince in Booker's commentary.
Woof. Anyway, on that bright note, we are back tomorrow.
Allegedly. Yeah.
And because it's here, because I'm not going to say it on the internet, happy birthday to my friend. For real. I'm very lucky to get to do this show, and I'm very happy to get to do it with you. And I hope it's the happiest of birthdays, and I hope that you enjoy yourself. Yes, you, Jeremy, not my sister-in-law. I don't do a show with her. I don't think she would really enjoy it as much. But happy birthday, pal. I really do appreciate you. I'm glad you've made it to another year around the sun. Don't go away anytime soon.
Thank you all for the birthday wishes. Thank you, Joel. I got a Euphoria mug from my lovely wife.
Nice.
Look at this shirt the goat sent me. I got to move my mic.
Oh, let's see this. I saw the I'm Jeremy.
I'm Jeremy doing Jeremy things.
That rules. There is no reason for that to exist.
No. I assume he just got it custom made off of wherever, enter your text.
You'd be surprised what shit can be spotted at Spencer's.
No. I know where it came from. So
gotcha.
I imagine it just got custom made, which is still very hilarious. Shout out to the goat. My wife got me a couple of things, but the mug is the one thing, and something else is coming today. I don't know what it is besides me. Something else is coming today.
Jesus.
And I do have a surprise for everybody. On my birthday, I'm delivering the surprise, everybody.
Mana, the final boss. And here we go. This is how good. The final. God damn, that's good shit.
And here we go. This is the Blanco, everyone.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is and you can tell it's not been opened at all. This is the fresh opening of the Mana here. The Blanco Mana is what we got. So,
well, while you're opening that, we got a couple of super chats. Lab Glass very generously. Happy birthday, Jeremy. More Mana money. We got more money for Mana. Thank you, Lab Glass. And our pal Mike, one of the goats, really got this shit popping. Happy birthday, Lambert. You share a birthday with my late grandfather. Cheers, brother. Cheers to you. Let's get on it.
And here we go. God damn, that's good shit. Blanco's not bad.
No, so it's a little smoother.
I mean, the other stuff was good. I forgot what flavor, whatever it's called. That's the like gold something is what it is. And that wasn't bad either. But look, man, The Rock can make a tequila.
I mean, he can market it.
Oh, it's got a nice like after to it. Oh, that's actually really good.
Subliminal marketing.
That's actually really good. Not gonna lie.
You're talking like The Rock's in the fermentation room.
Rock, Rock. You need to sell more Mana. I'm here for you. That's legitimately good shit. I'm not gonna lie. That's legitimately good shit.
TK really will never be on the show. The garden is gonna have to become the Mana Mania spot. Oh god, the Mana Fountain with Dwayne Johnson.
I'm glad saying Blanco. The Blanco one is smoother. Yeah, it's got a nice aftertaste too. Yeah, that's legitimately really good. I'm not like I don't drink much at all, but that could get people in trouble. I can see how that can get people in trouble. That's good shit.
10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. We'll be back. Jeremy and I tomorrow. SP3 comes back Wednesday, Thursday. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary, drop a thumbs up on your way out. And we'll see you.
Thank you, everybody.
Cheers.